Hey everyone, welcome back to AI Simplified. My name is Adam, and on this channel, we tackle everything to do with AI. Today, we're talking about a big one, which are the myths and confusion surrounding AI. So let's jump right in. So in today's video, we're going to talk about the 5 major myths surrounding AI and just discuss those more in detail. Maybe we'll break them, maybe they'll be true. We'll have to wait and see. Myth 1, AI is smarter than humans. Movies, Hollywood, TV shows, everything has told us that eventually AI will be smarter than humans. But the question is that the case right now? So, in reality, AI is powerful, but it's not actually thinking. Not yet, anyways, right? It operates based on algorithms and data patterns. It doesn't have human-like reasoning or emotions, right? It can outperform humans in narrow tasks like chess or data analysis, but it lacks general intelligence, creativity, and the biggest variable that makes us all human, common sense, right? AI art is a great example of this, right? Is that AI can generate artwork, but it doesn't fully understand beauty the way that humans do, the way that we perceive beauty, like that of a sunset or a painting of a meadow or Starry Night or Michelangelo's mural, right, in the Sistine Chapel. Like those kind of things are something that AI can never replicate, right? That will always be human exclusive. Myth number 2, AI will replace human jobs, leaving us all unemployed. I'm sure everybody's seen the fear mongering in social media of AI automation. When you look at a company like Amazon with their robots, or you look at all of this stuff in the online space, is that AI is going to take over human jobs, right? It automates repetitive tasks. It does, right? So when we talk about car manufacturing, we talk about a packaging plant, or we talk about those kind of things that are very A plus B equals C for a career, AI will automate those, right? But in doing that, it also creates new jobs, right? It's really just shifting humans' job roles, right? The idea is not so much that we need to fear AI or do away with AI, but we need to learn how to work with it versus actively work against it. So, for example, right? You may no longer be the one packaging orders, but you may be the one overlooking the equipment. You may become an equipment manager rather than a packer, rather than being a designer, rather than being a blog writer. You may be the one overlooking the AI tools that do that and ensuring everything goes well, because ultimately AI is not completely immune to mistakes, right? So it still does take that little human touch to be able to make sure that things are programmed accordingly and that things work the way that they're intended to work. Myth number 3, AI is 100% accurate and unbiased. AI learns from data, right? AI does not create its own train of thought or its own thought process. It scans the internet and skims millions of documents to form an opinion on X subject. If most of the information in the public domain that AI has access to is biased, AI will form a biased opinion, right? You can navigate around this within your prompts, within your conversation, to try to make things less biased, but there's really no way to completely mitigate that without the human touch, without us being involved in that and being able to change the programming, change the way that the prompt is structured, change the content, right, with our own, removing that bias and using the human train of thought to create an unbiased report alongside that information, right? So when you look at AI powered hiring tools, for example, right, a lot of Fortune 500 companies will use those power tools to be able to do that. And it's shown bias against certain demographics because they were trained on biased historical hiring data, right? So that's the important thing to remember, is that when you're using AI, you can't trust everything it does 100%. Not that you shouldn't trust it at all, but I always try to work with the 80-20 rule, right? Whenever I'm doing anything with AI, is that it's 80% AI, 20% human, right? And that 20% human is really introducing that unbiased view, introducing that very human aspect in the literature or in the writing of it, the voice of it that you can give to the content, trying to make that as human as you can. Myth number 4, AI has emotions, thoughts, and human-like understanding. Here's the deal, right? And something that a lot of people struggle to remember, struggle to really grasp. AI is not a person, right? AI will never be a person. AI will never be able to replicate every aspect of being a human. If you know what to look for when you are listening to someone speak, if you know what to look for when you are reading, watching content, all of that kind of stuff, AI has come a very long way from what it was, but it's still very easy to tell when something is AI generated or not. You need to trust your instincts with this, right? Right? AI can simulate conversation and decision making, but it really doesn't think or feel the way that humans do, right? Large language models like ChatGPT, they can mimic human speech, but don't actually understand context or sarcasm or emotions like humans do. Again, this is something that you see in the media, or you see in movies, or you see in TV shows, is that there's always that thing that makes humans human, right? Is that the AI doesn't understand the sarcastic jokes. It takes everything that is said as a factual arrangement, right? AI chatbots, like, they can hold conversations, but they don't have those personal experiences. They don't have emotions. They're just predicting, right? They're just predicting the conversation based on patterns. The big difference, I guess, between AI and humans is that AI predicts patterns in conversation, whereas humans are able to feel it. You can read body language with somebody that you're speaking to. You can still predict those general patterns and analyze things, but there's a human aspect to it. This brings us to myth number 5. Okay. And arguably the most important one to talk about. AI is a dangerous threat to humanity, right? The myth, the thought is that AI will take over the world like in sci-fi movies. Here's the thing. The only way that this will happen is if humans allow this to happen. AI is self-learning through machine learning, which will be coming up in a future video. But ultimately, humans are still at the helm. If we remove the human aspect of AI, of programming, of all of that, that is when it becomes dangerous. Right now, AI is a tool that humans control. AI isn't inherently dangerous. Humans, realistically, are the dangerous variable. We use these tools like any tools in history. We use them for good. We use them for evil. And somewhere in the middle is everybody else. The important thing when it comes to AI is that more people lean towards the middle or lean towards good than they do lean towards evil. There will always be people that will use those tools for evil. You hear about these scam callers using AI. You hear about these computer programmers using AI to be able to hack into your database and hack into your system. The reason that it's important for you as the viewer to understand these tools is to know how to defend yourself against this sort of nonsense. Know that it is out there. Do not live in blissful ignorance. I've said this in previous content. I will continue to say this in all of my content for this foreseeable future. Educate yourselves. Jump onto ChatGPT. Watch my previous video of how to use ChatGPT like a pro, right? Jump into that. View it. Use it, right? Figure out how it works. Figure out all the intricate details of it. It's what I had to do. I did it for months to figure out how to use AI. Early on, it's going to seem a little bit stumbling. You're going to be like a baby deer trying to learn how to walk, but eventually you're going to be able to walk and run with AI. And then you're going to be able to see this kind of stuff coming a mile away. The biggest thing is now is that a lot of people don't understand it, or a lot of people don't want to understand it. They don't want to accept that it's new. And you can be a trendsetter in that. You can get in on the ground floor of this and just run with this, whether it's through consuming my content, through consuming other people's content. I do my consultations, obviously, so I try to help people out that way. But ultimately, the AI regulation and ethical AI development are super important, right? I mean, a great example of whether or not it's a threat to humanity is in healthcare, right? Like AI literally right now is saving lives. It detects diseases early, showing how it can be used responsibly, right? Again, it's human nature that becomes the issue, that becomes the variable to consider more than anything else. There we have it. 5 big AI myths busted. We talked about a few of them more in detail than the others, but ultimately, the important thing for me to communicate to you as my viewer of this content is my personal view of it. That's the whole point of this, is to be able to see whether or not things are dangerous, whether or not AI can truly understand humans, or if it can replicate humans or take our jobs. I'm personally not worried because I choose to educate myself about this kind of stuff. I feel that you, as a viewer or subscriber of AI Simplified, are also not worried. That's why you're here. You're here to learn about the tools. You're here to learn about how it can help you in your future, right? As always, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for joining me for another episode. I appreciate all of you very, very much. Any questions, leave them in the comment section below. Check out my Discord. It will be linked in bio. I have all my FAQs. I have my consultation forms, all of that fun stuff. And check out another one of my videos if you like it. So again, this has been Adam with AI Simplified. We'll catch you in the next one.